This was the sound that I heard for several hours. I was poisoned by Chicago deep dish pizza. The smell of throw up filled my room, and really the only thing that I could think about was how much time I spent on this godforsaken website known as YouTube. The past several years, I've tried to find success in one way or another, and so far, success hasn't come. As of my late 20s, I'm having this existential crisis, but this past week in Chicago has helped me redefine what the word success is and the abundant amount of lies that we're told of what this word means. I'm sharing this in hopes that someone out there, an artist, entrepreneur, magician, won't get caught up in the same traps and waste this precious resource known as time. First and foremost, success is often detailed in chronological order. I've learned so much about this just from studying psychology and the way that humans organize past events and the importance of stories to make us who we are, especially during our most difficult times. The way that we arrange events in our head determines so much of how we perceive ourselves. Millennials were given this chronological story of the American dream. You go to school, go to college, buy a house, and get married, all by 30. Sounds like a pretty simple formula for success, and that's what we all subscribe to. However, the plot has thickened, taken a few curves, and the external world has changed. I just paid $26 for a acai bowl and smoothie. When I wasn't hitting certain milestones, disappointment filled my head because that's not how the story's supposed to go. Linearity means that there's a guaranteed, but there are so few guarantees in this timeline. However, this also means that we get to rewrite how we define success. And this definition doesn't have to involve the word money. I mean, this is an easy one, and one that I felt constant stress over when looking at my peers. Yes, technically, those who have made a lot of money are typically correlated with those who have made good decisions. However, as I read the book Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, not even the founder of Nike, a multi-billion-dollar company, could foresee 3 layoffs in 10 years, despite having the best team that the money could buy. For me, money has become less of a measurement of success when I noticed that there was an infinite number of it. I put in the hours into the tube, packed my schedule, took all the opportunities that I could. Did the money show up? Well, no and yes. Inside, I was exhausted, never being able to catch a breath. I was chasing infinity, which should be left to the cosmos, not us humans. And lastly, this is for the YouTubers. Metrics. What a poor measurement of success. I wasted a lot of time and resources on YouTube courses, which seriously highlighted the attention to SEO, title, and thumbnail, looking at the dashboard and niche, that awful word. I followed the strategies that these people gave out, listened to them carefully, and I saw a return from time to time. The numbers did grow, but like any metric, you don't want 2 or 3 times the return. You want 10x. When I first started, it was never about building a business. It was just about putting things that were interesting to me. All of a sudden, it felt like I was running a business, which was never my intention. It's always been about the craft. And the only resolution that I had to this terrible problem was to remind myself how much I hated math as a child. No joke. Numbers are the worst. So with these rocks out of my pocket, I'm finally starting to feel more lightweight. What is it that I want, and how do I obtain it? I'd like full creative freedom. And I know as artists or dreamers, we're always told to never quit and believe. But as Phil Knight puts it, sometimes you have to give up. Sometimes knowing when to give up, when to try something else, is genius. Giving up doesn't mean stopping. Don't ever stop. I read that and I was so insanely confused as to what the man meant. I mean, it was hard to argue with someone that has found so much unbelievable success. But man, I just thought about the word niche. I don't think there's anything more creatively draining than trying to stay in this box. And knowing when to quit what everybody else is doing, I think is just as important. You do the same thing and what everybody else is doing, and you all of a sudden lose your unique perspective on the world. And I think that the greatest happiness is from following your own interests. Trust me, it is a very big love-hate relationship that I have to make things. Like, I've been recording for like 4 days And I have no idea where this video is gonna go. I've already tried to format it several times, but I think that the highs that I feel once I figure it out is like nothing that I've ever find anywhere else. It's a very spiritual, fundamental experience. I hope that you'll stick with me. My interests change on a week-to-week basis, and I hope to talk more about them. The world is so vast and expansive, and there's just so little time to even make a dent in it. And when I do feel caught up by that beauty, I hope that I can share it with you guys. I hope that my mention of the prefrontal lobe cortex will one day inspire someone to learn more about themselves. There's been a lot of talk about time, and if there's a term I can coin, it's time billionaire. This is the ultimate form of freedom, where no one tells you what to do, and you can be wherever you want to be. Money can be replaced at any moment, but time is impossible to give back. I've wasted so much of my early 20s doing things that I dislike. So the ultimate goal now is to do the things that bring me joy, prosperity, and feel like they have meaning to them. My goal is to be a time billionaire and really go wherever my artistic faith calls me. I know, there's that word faith, and it's often associated with religion, but you can think about it as the muse or the laws of physics. I don't think there's a bigger calling than at this time, when we can build small empires without anybody's permission. The rules of the past are crumbling and new ones are being made up, all with the current being pulled back, only to realize that these rules were made up by people no smarter than us. I just want to follow this little bit of faith, because nothing weighs on a man more than the regret. And those are my thoughts and my opinions. I hope that you enjoyed this and that you'll follow me on this new path that I'm creating for myself, this new creative way. As always, my name's Asmi Hongos, and thank you so much for your time and your attention, and I'll catch you in the next one.